In today's video, we are going to be measuring the reinforcements inside of a suspended floor using Planswift. And we are going to be using the templates that I created in our previous video to do this. So if you haven't watched that particular video, at the end of this video, I'm going to be putting an end screen that will help you get access to that video. So before we get into this video, if you've not yet liked the video, please do. Engagement on the channel has been diminishing. It has been reducing massively and viewers still watch our videos. So it's either you are not liking the content I'm putting out there or you forget to like the video. So please try to like the video because it helps YouTube to push the video to more viewers. So let's get right into it. So first things first, right? I've already explained everything concerning the drawing when we were creating our templates, but for the sake of this video, I'm just going to reiterate on this callout. So to understand what this callout is talking about, this 27 means the quantity of the rebar, T12 means the diameter of the reinforcement, 01 is the bar mark, 200 is the center to center spacing, and then B is the bottom bar. So if you see B, it is bottom bar. If you see T, it is top bar. So first things first is that we're going to be measuring the reinforcement from bar mark 1 down to bar mark 17, right? So what we're going to be doing now is this. So remember I told you that if the callout is vertically placed, the reinforcement is what? Horizontally laid. So for example, now this callout is vertically placed. So trace the vertical line towards the dot. The perpendicular line on that dot or passing that dot is the reinforcement. So you can see this line here, right? That is the reinforcement. And they are going to be what? 27 in number, laid from this point down towards this point. So that is just what it simply means. So now let's measure. So you go here and click on your templates. After clicking your templates, what you need is your width. So the width for Y12, because Y12 is the size of reinforcement used, is what? 0.89. So you click on 0.89 and then the quantity of the rebar is what? 27. So you can see it's as easy as that. It's easy because we've already created the template. So if you want to have this in your Planswift, go and watch the video I created or I posted last because it will help you a lot. So let's continue. We are going to name this reinforcement to suspended floor in brackets 01 for bar mark what? 1. And then click on what? Okay. So all we just need to do now is to go to the reinforcement, which is bar mark 1 reinforcement, which is this one, and then trace the line. So you can see what we have here. We have about 0.1 tons. If you go to your takeoff summary, 0.08 tons, which is the actual tonnage. It is just the 0.1 you are seeing there was just approximated, but this is the actual tonnage, 0.08 for the 27 number of this particular reinforcement. So we'll go towards bar mark 2. And what is bar mark 2? Bar mark 2 is this reinforcement here. You can see O2. So if you trace the line to this dot, you can see it's a top bar, which is this reinforcement here. So all you just need to do is to go back to your template, click on it, rename it as what? Reinforcement to suspended floor O2, and then click. What is the weight? This weight is the same as before, 0.89. And then what's the quantity? You can see the quantity here is what? 20. So you what? Input it 20 and then click on what? Okay. So all you just need to do is to trace the what? The reinforcement. Press escape. So you can see that the total tonnage for this 20 number of this particular size of reinforcement is what? 0.03 tons. So we'll move to the next one, which is what? Bar mark 3. So if you look at the color, you can see this is bar mark 3. here. So just trace it to the dots. So if you trace it to the dots, this is what we have. The perpendicular line is the reinforcement. So this is the reinforcement. And there are how many in number? 27 in number that will be laid from this dimension line here down to this end. So we do the same process. Weight is Y12, so 0.89 kilograms. The quantity is what? 27. So it's 27, and then you click on what? Okay. So all you just need to do is to what? Measure. So you can see what you have here is what? 0.04 tons. So we move to the next one, which is what? Bar mark 4. So for bar mark 4, you can see if you trace it to the dots, this is what the reinforcement. And then how many in number? 20 in number. So we just come here, click on this. The weight is still T12. Then the quantity of the rebar is how many in number? 20 in number. Okay, so all you just need to do is to what? Trace the size of the reinforcement. And what do we have? We have 0.02 tons. So you can see that it is easy and straightforward because you already have the template. If we didn't have the template, it would have been a lot of hassle, right? It would have been seriously difficult. But the reason why Planswift is easy is because of it gives us an avenue to create a template. So let's just continue. For O5, you can see 27 number, T12 reinforcement used. So if you trace it, you can see that this is the reinforcement here. This long and bent reinforcement going like this. So all you just need to do is to what? Trace it. So we'll call this O5. The weight of the reinforcement is what? 0.89. And then the quantity. What is the quantity of O5? 27 in number. So right, 27 in number, and you click on what? Okay. So all we just need to do now is to trace the reinforcement. So you can see what we have here. We have a total of what? 0.29 tons. So we'll move to the next callout now. So the next callout now is horizontal. So for the horizontal, you can see 18 T12. This is bar mark 6. So you trace it to the dot. So this is the reinforcement for bar mark what? 6. This reinforcement going like this. So to measure, we follow the same process. Click on your template, rename it 06. The weight is T12, that's 0.89 kg. And then the quantity, what is the quantity? 18 in number. So you impute 18 in number, and then you click on what? Okay. So all you just need to do is to trace, sorry. So all you just need to do is to trace the reinforcement. So you can see what we have here. We've already traced the reinforcement, and we have a total of what? 0.17 tons. So let's just continue the whole process, and then when we get to the end, we'll continue from there. As you can see, we've already done all the measurements for the reinforcement inside the slab from bar mark 1 down towards bar mark 18. Initially, in the start of the video, I said there were 17 in number, or 17 types of reinforcement in this slab, but actually there were 18. One of the reinforcement was not giving any details, which is this last reinforcement here that you are seeing like this. There was no callouts for it. So what we just did was that I made a wild guess. Since all the reinforcements used were Y12, So it means that this one also is going to be Y12. And then to determine the number of this reinforcement is easy. Just get the dimension from this point down to this point, because that is where this reinforcement is going to be spanning, or is going to be laid, from this point here down to this point. So when I got the dimension using the dimension tool here, so I divided it by the center to center spacing. Since all the reinforcement had the center to center spacing of 200 mm, so I divided it by 200 mm, and I got a total of 27 number. So I just imputed it into our template, and it gave us the tonnage for it, which is 0.13. So since we've gotten all the tonnage for all the bar marks, all we just need to do is to add all of them together. So after calculating all the tonnage, right, we had a total of 1.99 tons. So it means that the summation of all this tonnage here from bar mark 1 down to bar mark 18, we had a total of 1.99 tons. So this 1.99 tons is what you're going to be carrying to your bill of quantities as the quantity or the tonnage of reinforcement for all the Y12 reinforcement used to construct this slab. So you can see that it's as easy as ABC. If you have this template, measuring your reinforcement for residential buildings like this will take you about 2 to 3 minutes. If this video was helpful, then you can check out the video where I taught how to create the templates. So do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this video. And I'll see you in the next one.